Welcome back. It's sad to say, but an unfortunate reality that computer users are getting ripped off and hacked all the time. There is help out there, and it's good to know what to do if it happens to you. Bill Margeson, CEO of CBL Data Recovery, joins us now to explain its forensics data unit. And Bill, good to have you on the program.
Nice to be here, guys.
Indeed, it's good to have you back. Maybe you could just give us a brief synopsis, as you did several months ago, what CBL Data Recovery is all about.
Our primary service is recovering data from failed computers, crash RAID systems, tapes, things of that nature. And of course, that gets us involved in a little digital detective work as well.
I'm sure it does. And any of us who have used computers long enough know it's going to happen. It's not a matter of if, but when. And I guess it's the degree of seriousness. Because when your last demonstration here, I mean, you had hard drives that had been soaked in mud and had been run over by trucks and other such things. So
sunk on ships. Yes, it's amazing that the data still remains on these devices. People don't realize how tough it is to get rid of the data sometimes.
Yes. Now, for some people, that's the big problem. Another problem is it's a phone call that comes to you guys, and it's, I've been hacked. What do I do?
Well, basically, if you've been hacked and it's important and you've been injured and there may be some legal issues at stake, what you have to do is treat the whole thing like a crime scene. There are rules of evidence handling that have to be followed.
Really?
So if a small business, for example, had a problem that's digitally related, their best solution is to power down everything so that the injury can't get worse, it can't continue. But more importantly, you stop all further communication, all erasing that could be going on, and that gives us the trail to begin to track down the perpetrator and the extent of the damage. The next thing that you should do, though, is call your lawyer. It's a very serious proceedings to get started, so a lawyer's advice is the most important next step.
Okay, so there's the business operator. They realize they are being hacked. Systems are non-functional. They know what to do, so they turn off the system. They call their lawyer. Then they call you?
That's correct. Undoubtedly, they'll get the lawyer to direct all the hardware to our lab and do it in a way that follows the rules of evidence so that one single person may hand deliver it. When it comes to our lab, that's when we take over. We're going to have a look at things at the hexadecimal level.
Now that is with?
That's it's a lower level than the operating system. It's almost the ones and zeros on the computer.
Wow. And Bill, how do you turn the system back on to find out what's going wrong with it without, in fact, allowing further damage?
Aggravating the situation. A very good question. Our first most important step is we never work on the original device. We use some technology that's at very baseline level, very forensic correct, and we do a sector copy of the hard drive or a tape, whatever it may be.
Really?
We copy it to a known good device, and then we do our analysis on that. It's kind of like taking a photocopy of all the data and then analyzing everything from the photocopy.
Gee, we've got your website up here, cbltech.ca, to give people an idea of where to go to. And we've also got .com or .ca, does it matter?
Yes, well, we have 7 locations around the globe, okay, so .com, .ca.
But CBL Tech is the key thing. It almost sounds like it's something out of science fiction where you've got a badly injured person, you don't know what to do, so you clone them and do the operations on the clone to see if the operation works, and then you can decide whether or not to go to work on the real system. You must have some fascinating stories.
Oh, yes,
we share without giving away names.
Adventures. Well, most of what we do is confidential.
Sure.
But we've done some amazing. We've had adventures. An anti-terrorist weaponry manufacturer in the West Coast called us in one time. They had some difficulties, and we had to fly out on site and spent 72 hours with very little sleep, struggling to get his data back to life again. We've had our issues. Most of what we do is civil litigation, mind you, in the forensic ends of things. Where a disgruntled employee may leave and maybe in a bad moment of thought erases something, and that can be very injurious to his former employer.
Sure.
And of course he can be caught doing that. That's a very obvious thing for us to reveal.
There's an article earlier this week in the Toronto Star in their computer section that talked about how difficult it is to actually wipe the slate clean, that there almost always is a trail of evidence.
That's correct. The magnetic signals are so small, the aerial densities are becoming even greater, that it's difficult to totally obliterate the signal. There's always residual signal left. So if you need to get absolute assurance the data is not there, the only thing you can do is overwrite the entire medium, hopefully several times, more than once.
Really, more than once?
More than once.
Interesting. So once is not enough. Bill, what would be the range of the people that have used your surface in terms of the size of the business?
From
range of companies or operations?
Students to government, military, police forces, just about everyone's been impacted by the loss of data or needing to get something back that's otherwise been deleted.
What kind of person is it that you are looking for in terms of being that kind of sleuth? I mean, it's an interesting amalgam of talents and backgrounds and disciplines. I mean, you got to be a bit of a part detective. You got to be a bit of a computer nerd, and I mean that in the best sense of the term. You also have to be, I imagine, just a kind of a different. I don't mean unusual personality, but I mean you've got to have a kind of a suspicious mind.
Well, we have a puzzle solving. We have a unique collection of people with very rare dispositions. Our lab has more degrees than people. We have 2 doctorate people working there. But that's not enough. You're absolutely right. There has to be something driving them further, and that's the curiosity. That's the need to solve the puzzle. And that's the driving energy we have in the lab that makes us successful.
Bill, it's always fascinating having you on the program, and it's always a great insight as to the backgrounds of the whole operation. We always learn something. And if people have problems with their computer, cbltech.com.ca, they're going to get to you. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Dave.
We'll see you next time.
See you.
We've been talking with Bill Margeson from CBL Data Recovery. We'll be answering your questions after the break. Get them to us right now. We have 3 Lilo and Stitch video games to give away to the lucky viewers and callers with the best questions. Here's how to reach us: by email, homepage at pulse24.com, by telephone, 416-872-CP24, long distance, 1-888-863-CP24.